California's Gold is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association.
California's Gold is brought to you by Ford, with a world of new ideas that make being out on the road more fun and more economical. Like EcoBoost, the remarkable engine technology that turns a smaller, fuel-efficient motor into a powerhouse that performs like a much bigger engine. And Park Assist, the magical parking system that slides your car perfectly into place while you sit in the driver's seat and watch. Ford hopes you enjoy traveling through California with Huell Hauser, perhaps in one of our remarkable new products.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser with a question for you. Do you remember when cable television came along back in the 70s, early 80s? They had all these promises about how all these choices were going to be on television. They were going to open up television to all these wonderful cultural possibilities. We would be bombarded with wonderful television for a change. That's what cable was going to be all about. Well, I don't want to be overly negative, but look what we've got today. I've got 500 channels on my cable television at home, and I guarantee you there are lots of nights I can't find anything worthwhile to watch. Infomercials, endless infomercials about losing your hair, about losing your teeth, about hemorrhoids. Reality television that is so bad it's an embarrassment to watch. Whatever happened to cable television and the great promise that cable television made to all of us when it first came on the air? Well, that's what this adventure is all about, because there is at least one cable station. It's based right here in California, in Glendale, California, right outside of Los Angeles. It's based in this building right here. Actually, the building is a lot bigger than the offices. They only have one or two little offices inside this building, but they have remained true to their calling. They have remained pure. They have remained classy. They've proven that you don't have to be big to be good, and they've proven that people, viewers, will respond to quality, classy, good television. So that's what this adventure is all about. Good, classy television. Television that's a wonderful example of California's gold. Here we go. Wait till you see what's inside this door. It's good. Okay, we're inside. We are inside corporate headquarters. Let's meet some of the corporate employees. Your name, sir?
Hi, my name is Javier.
And you've been here since?
1994.
The beginning?
The beginning.
Everybody's been here since the beginning.
Hi, I'm Jamie Rigler.
Nice to meet you. You are the CEO, president, chief bottle washer, programmer, everything else for Classic Arts Showcase.
Believe it or not, I am.
What is Classic Arts Showcase for those who, let's get everybody up to speed now, because I know everybody's seen it.
They have. They just don't remember the name. I'll say, that show.
What is Classic Arts Showcase?
Classic Arts Showcase, my uncle, who is a successful businessman with his business partner, had a foundation, which I'm very proud to work at.
Called?
The Lloyd Rigler Lawrence Deutsch Foundation. Endows different than Carnegie Hall and the Met and the ballet and small things like that. Also the Egyptian Theater here in California. But Classic Arts, Uncle Lloyd wanted to reach more people. And he said, with the arts. He said, one ballet company, how many people do you reach? One opera company. So he talked to somebody he knew from MTV, which I hate to use that, but it was like MTV. And he said, let's do a show sort of a potpourri. And he said, and you're going to be the DJ. I said, well, I love music. I was in classical music. Why not? So 18 years ago, he went to the unions, he went to different cable companies, and by God, he got it going, and an outreach for free to the public.
Free.
Free.
To cable companies.
To cable companies, college companies, Wayne's World, everybody.
It's a highbrow MTV.
But we're not snobs because
Not
besides
snobs.
Horowitz and the usual stuff, you'll see sort of new young filmmakers, film scores have classical musicians. You've
It's a
got
little bit of everything on there.
I call it eclectic.
People get hooked. When I told people I was coming over here, people said, you know, I want to watch it for 5 minutes. I end up watching it for an hour because
I get the
it
same thing.
sucks you in.
And there's 15-minute sections. So you might see 2 or 3 clips interrelated, and you'll say, well, how? There might be a Bach clip from Leipzig. Then the next clip is something from Leipzig, and that might connect to something else.
But you have a little bit of everything on there. And what's so great for the viewer is that we never know what we're going to see or hear or experience.
I think that's why people, they say, why don't you have a guide? I said, well, I've used George Gershwin once before, 1.5 minutes of I Got Rhythm. Then we go into something maybe from Broadway, Ethel Merman. Then that clip goes into something else from a classical composer.
It's all in his brain.
It's all in my head. But
All right, let's walk through corporate headquarters because this is it right here. Is that right, Jamie? This is the whole shebang.
18 years, same chair, same
Look
editor.
at this, Cameron. We're going to stand back and just let you look. Jimmy, turn around and give us a wave. This is the Holy of Holies. This is the room that has everything going on inside. Jamie, come on in here and explain to people what all of this... Turn around so we can see you. It's kind of crowded in here. What is all of this?
This is the material that goes for each clip on the show. So we have
Some of the material.
Yeah, maybe about 1/5. But some of it's from, I'm not overly technical. DVDs, old tapes, kinescopes, 3/4 inch, Digi-Betacam, and now Blu-ray, because the companies, after 18 years, have been sending us material.
Where do you get all this stuff?
From Europe, from New York, and the record companies, when we started, my uncle went to all the record companies. He said, this is a good way. We're not promoting, but we are promoting the arts. So give us 5 minutes of Horowitz. Give us 5 minutes of a singer.
But how do you know what's out there? How do you know? How do you grasp all of this? This is a huge...
Huell, I can't explain it, but it's all up here.
It is, isn't it?
And I read a lot of magazines, but when you've lived your whole life in it, I love film, I love animation, I love classical music, and I sort of, I'm eclectic kind of guy.
And there are a lot of different categories. There's film, there's dance, there's opera, there's ballet.
There's archival, there's documentary, and they all interrelate. And in my head, but I think they do interrelate from the letters we get. We get emails and written letters every day, and I get to hear feedback.
You know what your employees told me before you got here today is that you know where everything is on all of these shelves. You can just go to it almost. Look over here, Cameron. We're just seeing a part of it here.
Well, that one is by recital sections, and that's that labeled. And this one, you see different artists. You see Carmen, you see Caballé, Callas, Corelli,
Look at all
Domingo.
this down here.
Well, that you shouldn't. It's a little piled up, but I know where it is, and I know those, and
Now let's talk to Jimmy for a minute. Jimmy, how long have you been here?
Pretty much from inception.
You've been here for 19 years, just like everybody else.
Yes.
And you are the guy who sits in here with Jamie and does what?
We edit the clips. Load, title, freeze, fix color, sound.
You're the one who creates from all of this the classic art showcase.
A joint effort, but he's got an eye and an ear. You can't buy that kind of look. He understands it because the sound, you have to really hear it. Sometimes it's submerged or it's bassy. Jimmy knows right away. I say, Jimmy, we got to bring that. He goes zoop, 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 after 18 years.
Sit down, that's your chair. It's a little worn. You've been in that chair a number of years.
1994. But anyway.
Nothing much changes quickly around here. I'm getting that idea.
Huell, and there's always new material. Now, this I just received, just to show you, for instance. He's a legendary pianist, Glenn Gould. But in Canada, I didn't know that he did all these shows. What a collection. It's so exciting. So we'll take, I'll check it out. 5 minutes about some composer or some piece. He's notably famous for Bach, but he was eclectic. He loved everything. He liked jazz, and he liked Broadway, he loved Bach, So this is a great thrill for me, because then look at all the different clips, and they've given me permission, And then I go through it, and every week something new pops up.
For the people. We are going to be interspersing this whole interview with different clips. So this is kind of an eclectic experiment for us as well.
Okay.
To kind of show the viewers the cross-section of everything you could get. And this is just in one night's programming that I watched the other night and taped it.
Yeah, and there was old films, there was, new artists. I just got something today from Sony, a new pianist. Never heard of him. Well, tonight I'll go and look at it. I'm sure he's good. He wouldn't be on Sony if he wasn't. And then I'll pick something that I think maybe would be wonderful to share with everybody to introduce him.
Let's see what you all do. Now, how does this work? What happens?
Well, today we're going to do an aria from an opera, Adriana Lecouvreur. And the soprano is very current, the tenor very, very current, but the clip we're doing of the mezzo, she's the rival to the soprano. She's a wonderful Russian singer, and she sings this aria at the beginning of Act 2. And we're going to do that today, and then somehow I'll program it into the show every Friday like I do. The Gershwin only was that long, and in fact was missing 10 seconds. So at the beginning of the clip, you have the music, and we froze it, and then you have him continue.
That's him playing in 1931. That's like lost footage.
Thank you. And there's very little footage of certain performers, especially live. So there he is playing at a convention for RKO, but you see him, I don't know, it gives me such a thrill. That's only a minute and a half. Everyone thinks maybe I came up with this concept. I implemented it. I never would have thought that was possible 18 years ago. You can't show things, unions and the rights. Well, since YouTube and the information highway, things are different. So now anything's on YouTube. Well, isn't it beautiful? You can see a beautifully restored clip from us, or a news clip. And when the show started, they wanted me to introduce it. Me. And I looked at a tape of me talking. Oh my God, I said, get it off. Let people
you just
decide.
do the graphic introduction.
Do the graphic, it's up to you. Maybe you. What is it?
See,
you decide.
Don't you feel guilty? You're giving the viewer credit for having some sense. Boy, you're going against the grain in today's television world.
And they write us, and they let me know. And the only time I made a misfire was, there's a song called Danny Boy, and believe it or not, it was Cher singing it. I thought it sounded nice. She went, oh, Danny, I got so much hate mail. What are you putting Cher on? Well, I said, well, I didn't put her on after Mozart. I put her on a music video of Ireland. Anyway, I took it off.
Well, it's supposed to be a little bit of everything. You don't want to get locked in to just be in the opera channel or the ballet channel.
Thank you.
You want a whole cross-section.
Thank you. That's what's fun for me when these new clips get discovered, some of the black and white clips, some of the movies I never heard of.
You had Uncle Tom's Cabin on the other night, a clip from Uncle Tom's, the original version.
From the silent era, and do you know why that was on? Because at the end, whatever her name, Liza, she is so put upon by the villain. When she finally takes a whip and strikes back, and this is in the late 20s, it touched me. It's not about black, white, or, I'm not afraid to put something on. It moved me, and I hope people will move by it.
Isn't it wonderful, though, that you can program a channel and have so few constraints on you? It's what moves you.
I'm very blessed. That's why I love it.
You are. That's why everybody stays with you.
I know it. And I love it. You have to love what you do. It's the cliche, but isn't it the truth?
Yeah.
I'm still like excited today. It's Monday. Oh, Jimmy got the new clip. We got this. It never stops.
Okay, here they go. They're editing in here. We're going to visit with some of the other longtime employees.
We'll be
well,
here.
the other longtime employee, because you got a staff here at Classic Art Showcase of 4 people.
And Adam, who runs, this is his entire studio, he's the one, when he talked with Uncle Lloyd, to implement it. Like I say, I'm not technical.
That's what we want to hear about right now. Go to work. We'll be back in a minute. They're working away in the edit bay. Okay, we're out in the main hallway. Jimmy and Jamie are in here, hard at work editing. But now there's more to the headquarters here. This is the other room. There are 3 rooms total. And in here working, your name, sir, is?
Hello, you. Adam Such.
And you're another one of these employees who's been with Classic Art Showcase from the very beginning.
Very beginning, 19 years. I'm 1 year more because Lloyd started it a year earlier before the launch. So now...
Before it was launched, before
yes.
it went on. Now, can you remember when he first called you in and broached this whole subject with you all?
Yes, he called 5 of us into his office and he said, here's the idea, what do you think? And
what was the idea? To bring it to the masses, right?
the idea was we want to make a classic MTV type show with operas and symphonies. And I said, well, this is a great idea, but how? We couldn't understand. How are you going to do it? How are you going to...
Cable!
Well, yes, he knew more than we knew. So
that's what cable was supposed to do.
But how do you get the programming? So he had all figured it out. And when he told us, I said, oh, this is a great idea, but we're not sure it's going to work. And it did work because he made it work.
It was his vision. We have some wonderful footage of the actual day, which was his birthday in
1994, May 3rd.
May 3rd was when he actually pushed the button to start the transmission, the uplinks.
All over the United States.
What did you think back then? Did you think this is a grand experiment or this is a grand experiment that'll never work?
By that time, I knew it's going to work because he explained us and he put his money into it and he said, we're going to do it. But before that, I was skeptical because I didn't know how is this going to work? How are you going to get the programming? You know, how are you going to get these videos? And he did.
And who's going to watch?
Who's going to watch was another thing. But now we have tremendous amount of audience.
You can actually go on the web, and we're going to put that on the screen right now. You can go on the web and find it by state.
By state
it's
and by
on
city.
hundreds and hundreds of channels all over this country, in fact, all over the world.
All over Central, Northern, and South America. It's everywhere in this continent.
And it's all over California.
California, we are very pleased because it's more stations in California than anywhere else.
And do you think that this was what they meant when they said cable television is going to bring all these possibilities to us culturally?
No, I just never thought it's going to survive because there are so many cable stations that come and go, or you know, as useless or some kind of channel that nobody cares. But this survived 24 hours a day. It's always on, never stops for 18 years.
The possibilities are literally endless, aren't they, as to what you can put on Classic Art Showcase?
Because Jamie Rigler, the director, he's very eclectic. He knows his stuff. He understands what's going on. And he's not just putting on certain things. Everything that's classic, everything that's art. And we're pleased about it.
Everything that's good, and classy.
Sometimes hundreds of letters every day, to email, to mail,
but it's such a small little operation.
It's not that complicated because the brain, the whole thing is really what you program, what do you give to people. That's the whole idea. There's so much material out there, but how do you put it together? Does it excite people? Everywhere I go, they know Classic Art Showcase. Everywhere I go, I talk about the show. They know it. They watch it.
Well, it not only excites your viewers, but after 19 years, it continues to excite you.
To me, it's the most amazing thing to come to work in the morning and see what is new in this world, what kind of art, came up yesterday. And Jamie gets it from Europe, from United States, from everywhere. People send him stuff, and he puts it on the air. And it's just a joy. I would never change my job for nothing in else. And if they would not pay me, I would do this. I'm sorry to say that.
Don't let Jamie hear you say that.
No. What I'm trying to say is that the biggest joy that I could ever have, and I'm lucky to be part of this. I'm very lucky.
Maybe in Syracuse, New York, they're showing us 3 hours in the afternoon. That'd be the morning here. But here, we're not seen till overnight, like 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
Right.
On Sundays, wait a minute, we're 5 o'clock to midnight.
So it's on different times on different channels.
But I met a great dancer named Baryshnikov. What a thrill. And he said, "You do classic art?" I mean, Baryshnikov, And I swear to God, Huell, he went and he did like a bow. I almost fainted. I thought, you saw classic art. I forget I'm only here, then I go home. But when I go to other cities, I'm so thrilled that that show, as you said before,
Without beating a dead horse, you didn't hear what I said at the beginning of this program about the promise of cable television. This is what that promise was, to bring all kinds of things. That's what cable was supposed to do.
Uncle Lloyd put that in his statement 18 years ago. Huell, I never changed it. We hope we make best use of the medium for cable, PBS, and for outreach for people. And it's brought to you free of charge. Then I get a letter, because maybe a station is charging them for 10 other channels, not us. But we're free, so...
Free and still going strong after all these years. 18 years and counting.
Who wouldn't love their job? I'm telling you, it's a privilege.
Well, congratulations. You've
so much.
done it the right way, and your uncle would be very proud, wouldn't he, of the way this is all turned out?
I think he would. And I'm hired till 2022, and then I have the option to renew.
You ready to work another 18 years?
Absolutely.
I think that's the...
They're all
ready to work.
We're all ready to work 18
for another 18 years.
Oh, okay.
I got to tell you, doesn't get any better than this. This network, Classic Arts Showcase, is a fine example of California's gold.
Thank you.
She's Russian.
So in this age of lots of mindless clutter on cable TV, Classic Art Showcase stands out as an oasis in a sea of mindless television. It's a visionary dream of Lloyd Rigler's, a dream that lives on. A classy, cultural station that respects the viewer and elevates the mind, while at the same time providing some really good programming that is totally unique. A little California channel with a total staff of 4 people in 3 rooms that's seen round the country and throughout the world. The little channel that could. The little channel Classic Art Showcase that, as I said before, is very much a part of California's gold.
Ford and the Ford dealers are proud to have brought you California's gold. Discover the new ideas we're developing to make being out on the road more enjoyable and more economical. like EcoBoost, the turbocharged engine technology that gives you the power of a larger engine with surprising gas mileage. Ford is committed to making your traveling fun, economical, and environmentally responsible.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and for those of you who want to share our California adventures with family and friends who live out of state, well, you can send them to our website at www.calgold.com, where they'll find a link to iTunes and an ever-increasing number of episodes they can watch for free. We're taking California's gold worldwide on the web.